It's another Getting Real with Ashleydawn. I'm Ashleydawn, and I want to get real with you. So you may be thinking, Ashleydawn, goodness gracious, what are you going to possibly talk about today? Well, I want to talk to you about the game of hot potato. And you may be thinking, what? Have you ever played the game of hot potato? Okay, if you haven't, I'll tell you what it is. So somebody has a potato or a ball or an object in their hand, and they pretend that it's hot, right? Like it's going to sting them. So they're holding it in their hand, and then they say go, and you have to get rid of the hot potato as fast as possible. So you throw it, you pass it, whatever, to the next person next to you, and it goes round and round and round and round and round, and everyone's trying to get rid of it. Nobody wants to hold on to it because it's going to burn them. Ashleydawn, what are you talking about? Well, that is a lot of times what people are doing with their personal life. They have any kind of hurt or hang up, instead of dealing with it and, setting it down or putting some oven mitts on to hold it, they try to just get rid of it as fast as they can to the nearest person to them. You say, Ashleydawn, why is that? Well, because a lot of times the people that are closest to you, you're more comfortable with. So why do husbands and wives fight so much? Because they live together, they're comfortable with each other. Why do best friends fight? Because they're comfortable with each other. So a lot of time you take out your aggressions on the people you love most, not intentionally, but because you trust them the most, because you're the most comfortable with them. And so it's the nearest person to you, it's the closest person to you, so you try to get rid of that hot potato and you put it on them. What happens to that person? Well, that person is bombarded with this hot thing that they're holding that they weren't prepared for, and they don't have oven mitts for. If you just spring your drama, your hurt, your anger, your bitterness, your jealousy on somebody, they don't know how to deal with that. They weren't prepared for it. And so a lot of time you have somebody reacting out of shock, out of surprise, because they were blindsided by it. And that is what really destroys marriages. It destroys friendships. Ashleydawn, how can we fix that? How can we fix that issue? Well, one way. Deal with your potato. What are you talking about? I am saying if you have something hot, maybe it's your temper, maybe you have anger issues, maybe you have resentment, unforgiveness, maybe you have resentment, you have unforgiveness, maybe you have a hurt or a hang up or something that you're just trying to push off and trying to push off. The only way to not play hot potato is to deal with your potato. To take that hot potato and to set it down so it can cool off. A lot of times if there is a fight between two people, sometimes it takes a referee coming in and taking that potato away and saying, you know what, I'm going to get some oven mitts because this is a little too hot for y'all. That's what a counselor essentially does. They put oven mitts on and they take that hot potato away, and then when the potato cools off, then you can talk about why it was hot in the first place. Did you stick it in the oven? Did you stick it in the microwave? Did you put it on the fire? What is the issue that made the potato hot? What is the issue in your life that made you get angry? What is the issue in your life that hurt you, and so you wanted to just get rid of your hurt, so you put that hurt on someone else? Have you ever heard the saying, hurt people? It's hot potato. They're trying to get rid of that hot potato. And so if you maybe have done that, maybe you had some anger, some hurt, something, and you put it on somebody else, and now that person says they don't want nothing to do with you, well, that's probably why. A lot of time we don't even realize what we're doing to other people because we're not healed ourselves. The best thing that you can do is to deal with your potato. To put some oven mitts on and you say, you know what, this potato's a little hot. I need to take it away from the fire. I need to take it off the stove. I need to take it out of the oven. I need to not throw it on somebody else because I can't carry it. And that's normally what we do. If we're hurting, we can't carry it, so we try to put it on somebody else. But the thing is, they weren't designed to carry it either. They weren't. And so a lot of times you can ruin a friendship, you can ruin a relationship husbands and wives, putting their hot potatoes on each other. Deal with your potato. What does that mean? Deal with your junk. If you know you have anger issues, sign up for some anger management classes. If you know you have some unforgiveness issues, how about you work through them? How about you deal with your junk? How about you call up that person that you're struggling with and talk to them, or set up a meeting with them, or deal with it? Ignoring it, sweeping it under the rug, pretending like it doesn't exist, hurry up and throw it on somebody else isn't going to fix your problem. You have problems. You do. And I have problems. I do. And unless I deal with my problems, I'm going to go around destroying the people that I love and destroying the people that are close to me. Because if I'm constantly putting my junk on them, putting my drama on them, putting my hot potatoes on them, I'm going to burn them. I'm going to burn their hands. Because they weren't prepared for it. They didn't have oven mitts. So how do you prepare others for it? Well, honesty. You tell them the truth. You say, hey, I've been going through this thing. Maybe, good night. People do not know how to drive. It drives me nuts. I'm letting you go. Just go. Oh my goodness gracious. Jesus. So, a lot of time, people, throw something on you and you weren't prepared for it. How can you be prepared for it? They are honest with you. How can you prepare others for it? Be honest with them. It's not that hard to tell the truth. It's a lot harder to lie. And you may be thinking, oh no, Ashleydawn, if they knew the truth, they wouldn't want anything to do with me. No, if they knew that you were lying, they wouldn't want anything to do with you. People don't want to be around people that are lying to them. I personally don't. Like, if you're going to lie to me, go somewhere, because I don't want to deal with it. I want to have honest friendships. I want to be around people that respect me enough to tell me the truth. Is it always going to be something I like? No, it's not. But I always want somebody to be honest with me, because I'm going to be honest with them. And when you're honest with somebody, you prepare them for the hot potato. If you let them know what's going on in your life, when you go through something, they're prepared for it. They got their oven mitts on because they already knew this situation was happening in your life. But if you hide it and you pretend like everything's okay and you never tell nobody nothing, the people closest to you, I'm not telling you to, say your whole life story to a stranger, but if you never share your life with the people that are closest to you, and then you're really going through something and you need somebody and you just throw it on them and they don't know how to handle it, prepare them. Tell them the truth. Tell them the truth. Go to a counselor. If the potato's too hot for you to hold it, what makes you think that anybody else is going to be able to hold it in your life? A counselor is going to come prepared with oven mitts. She's going to come prepared. He's going to come prepared if you're a male and you're going to a male counselor. And that's another thing. If you're going to counseling, I would highly encourage you to go to a counselor of the same sex, because they're going to understand you more than somebody of the opposite sex. And it saves you from a romantic relationship starting. Because think about it. If you are sharing your heart with somebody of the opposite sex, and maybe you're hurting, maybe, you're going to counseling because you've had some toxic relationships, probably not a good idea to be bearing your heart and soul to a male counselor if you're a female, and vice versa, a female counselor if you're a male, because emotional ties are so much stronger than physical ties. Why do you think people fall in love, on the internet, and you're like, you never even met them? No, but they talked a lot, and they had emotional bonds that weren't as easy to break off. That's a word for somebody. Protect your heart. Don't open your heart to a stranger, because those emotional bonds are just as powerful as sexual bonds, as physical bonds. Those emotional ones sometimes are even stronger, right? If somebody punches you, you can heal from it. Like, yeah, it'll probably hurt. But if somebody really bruises your self-esteem, really bruises your ego, really. So if you are creating these emotional bonds with somebody, be careful, because they'll be really hard to break off. So anyway, the hot potato. Deal with your potato. Don't go around burning other people just because you don't want to hold it. If it's your problem, you need to be the one to fix it. Don't be giving it to somebody else. Hurt people hurt people. But what happens when you get healed? Healed people heal people. And healed people can say, hey, I see that hurt. Let me give you my counselor's number. Let me walk through this with you. Let me hold your hand through this difficult time. Just because you got a hot potato don't mean there's necessarily, you are just beyond broken. There's no hope for you. You can't be, you can't be healed. Yeah, you can be healed. Everybody can be healed if they want to be healed and if they want to do the work. But pushing your hot potato off on somebody else is not doing the work, and it's not going to get healed. You're not going to be healed by pushing your stuff on somebody else. You actually have to be the one that fixes it, that deals with it, that gets rid of the situation, that cools the potato down, that takes it out of that heated, hot environment and says, you know what, maybe this isn't the healthiest situation. You know what, maybe I have some unresolved trauma from my childhood that I need to deal with before I go jumping into this relationship, or before I go, doing this thing that I'm not prepared mentally, emotionally, physically for. Get healed. Heal, cool that potato down, and then if you want to share that potato with somebody else, it's not going to burn them when they touch it. Picture it. Picture two people standing next to each other, and somebody has a flaming hot potato out of the oven, and it literally is burning their hands, and they hurry up and throw it on the next person. They're hurting the next person. They're burning the next person. But what if they take that potato out of the stove, they let it cool down, room temperature, and then they cut it open, right? And they share it with the person next to them. It's going to be delicious. Put some butter and some salt on it and a little bit of pepper. It's going to be delicious. And that person next to them is going to be able to hold it. It's going to be able to taste it. It's going to be able to enjoy it. That's a picture of life. If your life is so hot and so painful and so hurtful, no matter who's in your life, it's going to be hurtful and painful to them too. But if you let it cool down, you let it get to room temperature, the people around you can enjoy it. Think about it. Like, is anybody going to eat a hot potato? No. Is anybody going to hold a hot potato? No. A hot potato does no good for anyone. If it is piping hot so much that it's going to blister your skin, it's going to burn your skin, that's not a blessing to anybody. It's not a blessing to you. It's not a blessing to the people around you. Same deal with your life. If your life is piping hot and it's just volatile and chaotic and just drama filled, it's not going to bless you, and it sure ain't going to bless nobody around you. So deal with it. Cool that potato down. Cool that life down. Get some healing in your life so that that potato is delicious, so that that potato is a blessing, so it doesn't burn people. Do you know potatoes are honestly one of the most substantial food groups that literally, like in the Depression and, beyond, anytime there has been famine, potatoes have been like gold. Like, potatoes are so special. And I mean, you make French fries, you make baked potatoes, mashed potatoes, which I don't like, scallop potatoes, hash browns. Like, you can make a million different things with potatoes. You can make donuts with potatoes. You can make flour with potatoes, or pancakes with potatoes. There are a million things that you can make with potatoes. Potatoes are special. They're valuable. They're delicious. They're yummy. They provide sustenance and substance when they're the right temperature, when they're prepared the right way. I don't know about you, but I don't like eating raw potatoes. Oh, and I thought there's potato pasta too. I don't like eating raw potatoes. They're hard. I don't think they taste good. I do have some friends that like eating raw ones, but I don't like it. When a potato ain't prepared the right way, it don't taste good to me. When your life isn't healthy, it's not going to taste good to anybody. Get your potato healed. Deal with your potato. Deal with your junk. Don't hide it. Don't cover it. Don't put it on somebody else. Deal with it. How can you deal with your junk? And how can you help the people around you deal with theirs too? That's my question for you today. You may be thinking, really? This is a short little video. Well, it doesn't have to be a long video. Are you dealing with your junk, or are you pushing it on other people? Are you dealing with your anger, or are you just lashing out at whoever you meet? Are you road raging when you're driving and you're screaming at your kids, or you're screaming at your husband, or you're screaming at your coworkers, or you're slamming doors, or you're being passive aggressive because you're not dealing with your anger issues? Nobody wants to be burnt by your life. Nobody wants to be burnt by your words or your choices. Cool your potato down. That's my little advice for today. I hope it blessed you. Deal with your potato. Don't be burning nobody else. Don't be putting your junk on nobody else. Deal with it. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your actions. Nobody is responsible for your life but you. Your mama ain't responsible for your life. Your daddy ain't responsible for your life. You are responsible for your own life. You make your own choices. You eat your own food. You are in control of your life. It's your fault if you don't like your life. Okay? So deal with your potato. I love you. More importantly, God loves you. You are seen. You are celebrated, and you are loved. But your potato is your potato. Love y'all. Catch you in the next one.